Reason I'm going to put this here is because I usually put my cells kind of right up in here. And I put some extra stuff like a yard down in this area. But there's a million different ways you could design your prison. Go ahead and throw that down. I'm going to want some concrete walls inside the interior. Perfect. Another thing is, if you have a fence here, the wall is not actually going to complete if you press it all the way up against the fence. So we'll have to build an extra wall here. I'm going to build these little wall sections that we can attach more faucets to as we go. So let's put some shower heads down. I'm probably not going to fill out the entire area just yet, but I'm putting down enough so that we can sustain a fair few prisoners. That should be sufficient. Now we're going to need water pumps that go all the way across. We'll start it here, we'll bring it all the way down. Extend these small pumps out. And we'll get water where we need it. Do something like that in order to make sure we can get enough water through. You can actually move your delivery area to a different spot to make it more efficient for these guys to come through. But for now, it doesn't really matter. So while they're doing that, let's go ahead and set up a yard. A yard is a place for your prisoners to relax and have some fun. So we need a 5x5 room, and it can be outdoors, but it has to be secured at least behind a door. So we'll put the yard, I think right about here, leaving a little bit of space. And I'll very quickly be making this bigger, but for now, that should be good. All we need is a fence. Gotta get power to this room. Let's go ahead and extend this tubing all the way across. Need some power! And we're very quickly going to need more capacitors, so we'll go ahead and throw a couple more of those down so we don't trip our breaker. Alright, so we should have enough for accounting now. Looks like we've got a few things. Go ahead and throw the accountant in there. Back into our bureaucracy and start the health. Go ahead and get maintenance and mental health. Now, what this allows us to do is start earning a daily cash flow. So you can see how much money we have coming in each day, which is 2,000, and the money going out is 15,080, which will change based on the amount of workers and other employees that you have in your facility. And the amount of money you get daily will increase with the amount of prisoners that you have. So you have to kind of find a nice balance between having a certain amount of guards to a certain amount of prisoners in order to make good money. And why are you guys not working? Go ahead and lock that door open so they will finish building this out. For some reason they are not. Must be a bug. Come on, you bastards. There they go. Get to work. That does not look open to me. Ah, I see the problem. I put the gate down before I put the wall down, which meant the gate was just sitting on top of the wall. So you want to make sure you build the foundation first and then put the door in place. There we go. Now it deletes that and people can get inside. It'll give you a little indicator when they can't get to the job to fulfill it. But if you build foundational things first and then put doors down, you shouldn't have any issues. Still missing a few. What in the world are you people doing? There we go. Alright, so that should meet the requirements for the shower and the yard. Except we have to actually denote them. So, shower room and yard. Perfect. Now we need a kitchen. I'm going to make the kitchen and the canteen quite large. Reason being is they're kind of a pain in the ass to expand, so I want to make sure I start off with a very large one. Something like 30 by 30 is a good start. This really needs to be a large place. This is going to be for the kitchen and the canteen. That's where our doors will be. Actually, we could put a couple of doors down. Put some doors here, put some doors here. Some more down there. That didn't look very good. To determine, so probably somewhere right about in there where I should build it. That'll do. And in order to make a canteen, which is where prisoners will be eating, let's see what the requirements are. It needs to be indoors, it needs to have serving tables, it needs to have tables, and it needs to have benches. Let's see how large these items are. So this is 4 across. Table is also 4 across. Serving table is 5 across. Yep, 5 across. Alright, so we'll start by putting a serving table across here. Well, let's put the serving tables like this. So 5 across, 5 across, 5 across, and 5 across. Actually, thought of an even better design. Put it somewhere in the middle. So we're at about 15. So right here. Yeah, right around in here will work. We could go up to 15. And then we'll have our eating establishments on the sides. Actually, we want it as far down as we can get it. So something like that. -1 so we can get by. And our tables will go for like this. So something like that. You don't actually have to leave any space here, but I probably should, just in case. There we go. So those will be our serving table locations. And this will allow us to expand very easily if I set it up this way. Expansion is key when you're designing, because you'll always be getting more prisoners and you're always going to want to expand. That's our starting place. I'm going to extend this all the way up, just for a placeholder. For now, we're going to position our kitchen somewhere up in this area. We'll have a wall here, and our kitchen will go up here. Let's see what we need for the kitchen. So we need it to be indoors. It needs to have a cooker, a fridge, and a sink. let's see how large those items are. Here's our fridge. It's 2 across. Sink is 3 across. And the cooker is 2 across. So we'll have our doors right about there. Well, we'll have a staff door right over here. Staff door right over here. I may eventually put some jail doors here for purposes I'll explain later on. But for now, this will work. 2 across, 3 across, 2 across. Kind of putting things... Well, I don't really need to put them in groups necessarily. I just like to plan everything out beforehand. Sorry, just having to make sure I'm getting all these things positioned the way I want them. Alright, so that should be a good foundational kitchen. Let's go ahead and lay out the foundation for it. Put our walls like this. Some of this I can probably move inward and have some of the stuff in the middle. But this will give us some room for expansion. That is a pretty large kitchen. Well, let's be safe and make it a little bit smaller for the moment. So we'll just have half the space. If we make things too big, we'll run out of money, and that will be a problem. So throw down our jail doors right there. We're going to want a staff door into the kitchen, so we'll put that right here. Perfect. Alright, did not finish our wall here. Gonna have to extend it. We'll put this staff door over here in the corner. That will get us a pretty good location to the serving tables, which we're about to put in. Go ahead and throw one there. One there. One there, and one there. And that will do for now. I believe for every serving table, you want maybe 6 or 7 prisoners. I can't remember exactly what the correlation was. Tables down in the middle. Soon be ready for some prisoners. There's a lot of prep work into designing the prison and getting them ready for intake. And I'm going kind of slow. You could go a lot faster than this. Electricity in the room. See how much that goes. We need to stretch it out a little bit more. If a room is very large, it does not extend the power all the way. As you can see here, we need it to go a little bit farther. And this will leave us points for extending the power to other rooms as well, so no real reason not to. Extend it a little more. And that should be sufficient. prison's looking fantastic already. Let's go over here to planning, and we'll get rid of all this junk. Now we just need to designate these rooms as the canteen and the kitchen. Perfect. Let's start placing these things down now. Put cookers here. Let's have 3 cookers. Some freezers. And some sinks. Do something like that. And that should work. Alright, all we need left is some chefs. Another thing that's a good idea to do is throwing down some beds inside of here. We'll go ahead and do that as well. First option. This will give our new prisoners some place to rest, because they'll get tired very quickly. And let's build some basic holding cells as well. Oh, one thing I forgot is the water intake here. Definitely have to have that. Extend it all the way out, so we have enough water. And this needs to be connected up to our power directly. Once that's done, we should be good. Add a little bit of aesthetics. Let's add some paving stones that go all the way down. Make the prison look sexy. Let's bring this down to here. Can't really see the path because there's lots of brush and stuff over it, which we will be hiring a janitor later to fix that. Alright, so let's get a basic foundation here for some cells. So, have our walls go all the way across, kind of like what we have going here. Now, a cell has to have a 2x3 room. If you go in here, you'll be able to see it. So 2x3, it has to be enclosed indoors and has to have a bed and a toilet. I've heard of some people adding televisions and things into their room in order to keep them happy, but we're not going to do that. We're not that nice to our prisoners. Two by 3 here. Actually, let's start from this side, just to be safe. 2x3 and 2x3. Let's build our walls all the way down into something like that. Don't need to leave too much space. That way we can save money on foundations. Actually, it has to be a little wider than that. So we have to leave enough room for people to walk. Something like that will work. Another one down. Gotta get these basic foundational things down so we don't make any mistakes. Oh, it's gonna be perfect. Just the right size. Oops. not mean to do that. Okay. That looks pretty good for a starter. Go ahead and design the foundation. Our concrete foundation. We're gonna need a cell door. Stick that right there, adjacent to the shower over here. Go ahead and extend this out so we can get enough power to everything. Now it's time to build some of these walls. I'm gonna go ahead and set our prisoners for the morning. We'll set normal risk prisoners. And in doing that, I'm going to start pausing the action a little bit more. Our concrete walls going. Whoops. That's actually not going to work. Well, no, it will. I set it up. No, actually, it will not. Because there's going to be walls here, so let's go ahead and dismantle that. Actually need a smaller cell door. And in order to have this work smoothly, I'm going to go ahead and build this across, and then I'm going to stick a single door on top of it. These guys are going to get stuck in here. It happens pretty frequently. Come on. Get some of this stuff built. Come on, I want to be able to greet our prisoners. Must be the item blocking the way. So we'll go ahead and dump the large jail door. Just some collateral damage. Oh boy, prisoners are about to show up. Right across there. Guy's gonna build it now. I don't fully understand. Well, let's try putting the door down first. Sometimes the construction does weird things. See, now he puts it down. Oop, our prisoners have arrived. So as you can see, our cops are putting them into the holding cell. But I should have beds ready for them in no time. We're going to go ahead and hire some cooks. And these guys will prepare food for the prisoners and put them here. Let's get our basic holding cell needs up. Gonna need jail doors for each of these. We'll stick them right in the middle so you can see all the action. Should work for now. All right, so our prisoners will be held in here until they have cells prepared for them. All right, well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this opening video. I'm going to be doing some shorter videos explaining each individual item and such as we go through in order to keep things organized. So I'll see you guys in the next episode.